everybody. And we are back. We're back with another episode of the Danay Garcia Podcast. This is the first time we're doing it live, which is incredible. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to share this episode with you live. Hopefully you guys can join or let me know what you guys think as we're talking and going through subjects. I just wanted to start because the reason why I decided to do this live is because the actual podcast was born out of like these chats that I would have on Instagram live. And you guys would be very vocal about what do you think and how would this work and what do you think of the subject. And it was just so helpful. It was so beautiful. It was such a great connection that we kind of like together, we kind of like built. And it was obviously nurtured with, you know, love and kindness and openness and safety and protection and, you know, all those things that you need in order to have these kind of conversations. And I call these lives, you know, like seeds. Those, you know, this is a conversation that you can grab seeds and just plant them in your garden of life and you can see things grow, you know, seeds of wisdom, seeds of like routines and things that you could implement in your life. So this is how the podcast was born. It's by me speaking and saying things out loud out there during the pandemic, during, you know, those times that we were home alone, each one of us. And then I decided to bring other guests over and then we will grab those seeds and plant them in our garden, you know, and it's been such a beautiful experience, such a great feeling to be able to reach out and be nurtured by other people's experiences, journeys, you know, it could be anything. It was just it has been so incredible. But as I'm going through season 2, the one thing I really want to keep going is this connection, these conversations, and these things that are like, where things started and come from. And I always like to share with you things that has worked for me, my seeds, my stories, you know, the things that has helped me, you know, overcome things, survive, you know, like even survive the apocalypse on the show. Because you do need strength, you need time for yourself, you need tools to be able to give so much of you for a project, for your family, for life. Like it doesn't matter what it is, but anything that you give 150%, you have to recover. You have to nurture yourself. You have to fill your cup, as we call it, some of you. And that's why I'm doing this, because I don't want to miss that connection. I don't want to miss this moment that we have together and that we built together throughout the years. So I just want to start basically with something that I find, and you might have heard this before on lives and Instagram, that I say this a lot, but you know, the most, you know, as this is June 2nd now. Is it June 2nd or June 3rd? Oh my God, we're like halfway through the year. I don't even know how that is even possible. I felt like we were just putting Christmas decorations away not that long ago. And I just feel like it's just like going so quickly. And then you start looking back. I'm like, well, half of the year has gone by. What have I done? Well, if you really pay attention, you have done a lot. You just don't give yourself the credit at all whatsoever to say, you know, but the only way you can really see things a little bit more tangible is if you write it down. You know, writing things down has helped me so much with the stuff that I go through, because you see, this is like half of a year and you feel like nothing has happened. Like I just said it. I just said, why? How could this even be possible? Well, if I looked at my journal or if I look at things that I've written down, you don't have to even sit down every day and write pages and things. Like, it's great, but not everybody has the time. And some people have kids and it's just really difficult. But if you write things down, just like little by little of things that you want to get done, things that are done or things you have accomplished, right? You can always have a space a document that you can be like, oh, I have done a lot. And that way you will feel like a winner. You will feel like you have accomplished things because you're writing it down and you can see it tangible with your handwriting. Or if you have like a doc or whatever on your computer, but just kind of these are little, moments that really help you out to keep building the life you want. It's by really seeing that you are putting in the work. We don't give ourselves that credit ever. Ever. It's insane. Like if you go out and you ask your friends, hey, so can you imagine it's June 3rd? And everybody be like, I know, where have the year gone by? Very little people would tell you, oh my God, and I have gotten so much done. Like nobody ever says that. It's crazy. Like, or they would kind of say things like it's been chaotic, it's been crazy. It's just even the things that they have accomplished, they turn it into like they are exhausted and it's just too much and I can't. And that's not giving yourself credit for your hard work. That's not at all. That's actually making it worse. Like that's actually saying to yourself that all the work that you have done is not something you really wanted. It's just that you got thrown into like this chaos and you just been like, just like fixing things up. And that's what you've been doing half a year. When if you really could look deep down, you have gotten things done. And this is the part that I really want to say out loud for you guys and for me and for anybody that has been feeling like it's half of a year and everything is like, happening. Like if we don't work really hard to achieve the moments of like validation, not through other people, but through ourselves, nobody else will, because nobody else is living our lives, like nobody can be a witness of your life like yourself. Like even you living your own life, you're not witnessing life the way you are achieving it. You always feel like you are behind. So we have to build tools to help us in that process, because it's just really sad that if we're putting in the work, we're not registering this. And then we are, going and then it's half a year and you look back and you don't really see it. It's just like it makes you don't want to keep doing it for the rest of the rest of the year, because you don't feel like you don't feel validated. You don't feel encouraged. You feel like things are a drag, and things should not be a drag at all. Things should be fun and easy. Of course, we're going to have tough days. Of course, we're going to be like, this is extremely difficult. Of course, we're going to go through like crazy times, but let's just make it a little bit easier by reminding ourselves what we have accomplished. And that is a topic that I really, really wanted to like start with, because it's June 3rd. And by the way, yes, June Pride Month. To all my queer families out there, to all my queer friends, brothers and sisters, I am here to celebrate you. I celebrate you every month of the year, but I'm so happy that this is your year. So yes, give yourself credit for this beautiful month, and let's celebrate each other every single day. Like for like this is something that again should be a celebration. Everything you have accomplished in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year, okay? It's what we should kind of like register. So when we look back, we feel like we have actually been living our lives, not like life is going through us, like we've been feeling for the past 2 years, when things are like chaotic, how we've been experiencing. It's very traumatic. It has been very traumatic what we've been experiencing for the past 2.5 years with the pandemic and lockdowns and all that. So now forward, now that we are regaining our power back with our time, with our how we spend it, the things that we could do now that we couldn't do before, let's just Celebrate those victories, guys. You deserve it. It's a lot of work what you're doing. It's a lot. So let's just write it down, look back, put little stickers, stars, celebrate. Yesterday I went out for dinner, and I always cook at home. So I don't go out that much. But I remember the waiter comes, it's like, what are we celebrating? And I just said, life. I mean, we don't have to always have a reason to celebrate. But if you have those notes that I'm talking about, right? You can say, I'm celebrating my accomplishments. I'm celebrating what I got done. You don't have to say what it is that you get done, but feel like that's energy for you. That's exciting. That is something that you need in your life, and others need it. So pass that on. Trust me, we all need to go back to basics with this. So that is a subject that I do wanted to touch starting June, our Pride Month. And another subject that I felt like, talking about tasks and talking about, things that you have accomplished and things that you put yourself, up to do, and you do it, and whatever it is, working out, keeping your house, in check, things, it's a lot. It's a lot, right? Your kids, your spouse, your parents, the whole deal, work, whatever it is that you are accomplishing, doing, feeling, overcoming. I do always feel like, and this is something that I didn't understand before, but I get it now. Like when people say alone time, meaning time on your own, let me just say this. The fact that sometimes you can be alone in your own company, like on your own, but mentally you are living a very crowded life, meaning your thoughts, your concerns, your stress is not leaving you behind. It's actually louder, right? So when people say, make sure you have an alone time, it's not like, oh, I'm just going to be on my own. I'm just going to step away from everybody, and it's just me and what I want to do. I wanted to kind of talk about this because I feel like we don't understand the concept of alone time yet. And it's actually really hard what I'm about to say, but I think it's worth it. And I think we should open this conversation for real. So when I say alone time it's not just to be with nobody. It's not like to be, because sometimes you are alone, like I said, and it is just actually things are overwhelming and it's not healing. Alone time means to me that you're able to really nurture your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. Meaning like you can actually have a moment in which you calm yourself down with whatever you need is that you need. Like a warm bath or like a massage or like a nice conversation with someone that you trust and you care about, that it's on your terms. Like you can really have that moment that, even though you are with somebody, but you feel that you're not alone, like alone in itself. You know what I mean? So it's it's a time to really reconnect with what makes us feel proud, what keeps what you feel that is recharging your soul, whatever that is. Sometimes when you're not used to having this kind of alone time, being alone, it's the scariest thing. So that's why people avoid it. But if you think of alone time with creating a little bit of a schedule, creating a little bit of a plan of what are the things that you're going to do when you're alone, so you can fill yourself with confidence and strength that is going to be healing. That is empowering. instead of like, I'm just going to be on my own. And then you just like on your own. Like, what does that mean? Like, what is the reason to be alone in that sense? You know what I'm saying? So it's important because everybody's like, oh, I'm going on an alone time. I'm just on my own. But I'm like, but I got drunk. And it's like, wait, you are drinking too much while you are alone. That is not the reason why you're supposed to be alone. Like it's to heal yourself. It's to refill your cup of love and light. And because this place is chaotic, you know, and being alone should be a moment to really reconnect with yourself. But in order for that to happen, you have to make a plan. You do have to make a plan. You can't just be alone without a plan, because it can be really loud and scary and you know, stressful, and you're trying to relax, but then all you're going to try to do is compensate for something, and all of a sudden you're lost in your own company. And that is like, no. You want to stay away from that. So think about that. That is something that when people would say to me, I am doing my alone time, but they're like doing something that doesn't feel like it's healing, then it was very confusing. And I learned to treasure my alone times, because I became a mom so young, and I knew what it was like to be with a child at all times. So my alone time has always been like precious, basically. So every time I was alone, I was always like, I had a plan. I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to finish my book. I'm going to write this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to like sleep. I'm going to do all these things that are going to make me feel better. So always create a plan for your alone time. It's worth it. You will feel so good. Even cooking, cook in your alone time. It's that relationship with yourself, what you're doing. It's reconnecting with what makes you feel right. And if you don't know what that is, explore. And that leads me to another seed that is super crucial. Seeds that has helped me plant so much in my heart, in my soul, in my journey as a human in this world, is that when you are in the unknown, meaning you don't know what makes you feel good, you haven't had the chance to really explore this alone times that I'm talking about. You haven't had the chance to really explore this, because you're growing, because you're living, and it makes sense. Don't feel bad for it. Explore with what you like. Discover who you are. Discover who you are now. Even when you found out what you love, what feels right, what makes you happy, what makes you recharge, it can change in 5 years. 5 years, you'll be like, this, it's boring now. And it's okay. If it's boring, explore. Try new things with your alone time. It doesn't have to necessarily be something that you have done. Explore something you haven't done before. Make June, our Prime Month, the month to explore. You're like, okay, it's halfway through the year. I'm planning a little bit of alone time. I want to try this pottery class. I'm just going to try, and I'm going to be a beginner. I want to be a student. I want to do something new with my alone time that is precious. Don't be afraid to try something new that you haven't done before, that nobody pushed you to do. Try it, and little by little, as you become brave, as you become, more in tune with yourself today, you will really find this inner happiness and the only thing that you're going to want to do is share it. And you're going to call your friends and be like, you have no idea. I just did this pottery class and I loved it. You should try it. And then you will want to share with your friends. You want to share with others. Something that they have never tried before, of course. So, but because you were brave enough to do it, you're going to want to share it. And they will want to join your little journey that you have discovered on your own. Another thing that you could do, so these alone times of yours are always adventurous because you have to make them fun. It cannot just be about going to sleep. No, fill your cup. Go go to places. Book a little camping site somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Research. Make it exciting. You know, for those of you that live in the US is so big. It's such a big country. There's so much to explore. There's so much to just go out and check out. If you don't have the money in January, save money for your exploration, unknown places, for your me time in June. Create a budget for that. Create something that you feel that is your time, that you are connected with that part of you that have never seen before or experienced before. Get out of your comfort zone in a safely matter, you know, in a place that you feel like a child, you know, and that is another seed of wisdom, love that I want to just provide to you guys that has helped me just really treasure my alone time, really treasure and plant them and think about them. Give yourself that much love. Because I really, sometimes when I read statistics or like numbers, data, it makes me so sad that, and I mentioned this before, that we are living in a world with like billions of people, and people suffer from feeling lonely. People suffer from social anxiety and all this mental health, very, very crucial. Like, it's so important to pay attention to this. But if we can really make a plan to fill our lives with these experiences and adventures, it can get us out of that situation. Because when you go and explore to places that you've never been before, you might find a friend that is in that journey too, that was brave enough to go out of that comfort zone and see the world live differently. And my point with this is that if we don't put ourselves out there, we will not be able to go and find that love that we are capable of feeling, to get away from that mental depression and anxiety and all those things. You know, the world is, yes, a scary place, but it's also a beautiful place. And it has beautiful people. I know that they hardly say this, but I believe in us. I do. I believe in us. I believe that anywhere I will go, I would find a special soul, a special person that is also in that journey of experiencing life, you know. And when I read these numbers of, you know, they just really hide the amount of people that they are just not able to get out. And if you're listening, if you're here, just trust that, and just put yourself out there. You will be surprised what you're going to find. But when you put yourself out there with love, with that love that you deserve, with that love that you were born with that love that you are capable of having and experiencing. So it's tough. It takes a lot of bravery, but it's real. and it's true, and it's really out there. You just have to put yourself in a position of receiving. So it comes at you, comes to you. It's about trusting this process. It's about trusting that it's real. And it's about trusting that you're not alone. And I don't know if you guys have heard my last podcast with Brandon Collinsworth. Is a dear friend. And one of the things that he said is that, we just, as a society, we became so isolated about this lonely wolf mentality that is like, I'm just a lonely wolf. I'm just on my own here. Just want to get this and have my goals. And we forgot, our brothers and sisters, we forgot there is a world out there that is not just, that don't want to be a lonely wolf, that don't want to experience that lonely wolf mentality. And you completely alienated the whole thing just for you. And you forgot where you come from. You forgot what life is about. And you forget the journey of living, which is shared. It's better when we share it. It's like I was telling you, when you do your research and you find something fun to do, the first thing you're going to do is share with the person you love. The first thing you're going to do is share with your friends. Like, hey, look what I discovered, because that's who we are. We're not going to be this lonely wolf like, oh, I found this like great thing to have fun. I'm just going to be a lonely wolf and enjoy my lonely wolf time with this great thing that I love. No, you want to share it. That's what we do. We share. And that's what I want to remind you of doing, when you are nurturing your soul, when you're nurturing your heart and your body. Just know that being brave, it's part of the game. When I say brave, it's not like, oh, I'm going to be brave because I might fail, but I'm going to be brave and overcome it. Being brave meaning explore places you've never been. It's not that bad. It's actually fun. It's actually really fun. And that's what I wanted to give out today. I wanted to make this chat personal, because this is how we started. I wanted to make it special. I wanted to make it deep and real, with what I feel like, halfway through the month, through the year. And easiest thing to say is that, my God, time is flying. Yes, it is, but you're having fun. Yes, time is flying, but you are living it. It's really not going through you. You're living your life. And don't ever take that for granted. Don't downplay yourself and your hard work and your persistence. We've been bombarded by this mentality of like nothing is enough. And when I say nothing is enough, it's like what we do is not enough. What we buy is not enough. How much we make, it's not enough. What we have is not enough. It's like, it's enough. It's all enough. And it's all about enjoying the process. It's all about understanding how grateful you are. It's all about knowing that you're not alone in this journey at all. And it's all about understanding that you are enough. We are enough. And when you wake up with that kind of mentality of like you are enough and what you have is enough and what you do is enough every day, even though you don't feel it, you start feeling like you're in power, like your life it's enough. And what a beautiful place that is. Yes, Tom says that he's more than enough. I'm reading your beautiful comments, and I'm just really happy that this is all resonating with you, and I do want to keep And by the way, for those of you that don't follow our little show, the Danay Garcia Podcast, please help us expand our show. We have these conversations once a week. I'm having it with you now, but once a week I bring a guest and we, put out there a beautiful episode. And it could be about anxiety, it could be about ADHD, it could be about success, it could be about financial money. It's all a melting pot that goes under the umbrella of being, the best version of yourself. It's all about that, just grabbing those seeds and put them in your garden. And with that, you can grow and expand and give it to others and take care of it and, all those things. So help me grow this little show. Follow my YouTube channel, please. Official Danay Garcia. Danay Garcia Podcast. It's all together. And also my website is officialdanaygarcia.com. If you want to join our podcast parties. When I released a show, on Saturdays, I joined La Familia. I'll send you an email with a Zoom link and we'll be able to talk, watch the whole thing together and have this one-on-one conversations live. So go to my website, danaygarcia.com, scroll down and subscribe to my newsletter and I will be able to send you that. Also join our social media of the Danay Garcia Podcast and our YouTube channel and help us just put this out there. I feel like we all need it, okay? And let me see your really cool requests of this is awesome. I'm looking at your oh yes, another thing I wanted to say. Thank you so much, Jordan and Tom, for saying this. Guys, when you joined our podcast parties, it's Zoom, it's live. We're all in this together. We watch it together. We talk to each other. We see each other live. Please come properly clothed. That would be very cool. That would be actually really nice. We don't want to have shirtless. Let's just keep it very civil because we had some incidents that we want to make sure that we don't have those experiences. So please, 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 if you want to join us and celebrate love, life, awesomeness, clothes on. Thank you. We're not at the beach. We're having fun, but not that much fun. So just keep that in mind. Join our parties. You can subscribe in my officialdanaygarcia.com. Scroll, boom, you're going to get that. If you don't have a shirt on, just go. Okay? It's crucial. It's important. Thank you. Let's see. Yes. That's hilarious. You guys are so funny. Clothes on. Yes. So any comments in terms of this conversations that we had? Any comments, anything you guys want to add to our conversation? It's please, is more than welcome to do that. I'm watching. Love you, Danay and Familia, and all the newcomers who want to plant seeds. Thank you, Jordan. Jordan is one of our family members. He's been such a bright light in our world of La Familia. I'll never forget the first time we were celebrating something and Jordan shows up. I think it was Halloween, because we do Halloween parties too, by the way, and Christmas parties. We literally have fun. Then Jordan shows up in a T-Rex costume. He lives in Florida, and I remember he was dancing outside in the heat, and I wasn't sure if he was gonna really go mad, crazy, because if you haven't been to Florida, it gets hot there, and with a costume like that, full on, it was very impressive. So when I think of moments like that, it just fills my life, my heart, and everybody, each one of you in La Familia are so unique. so special, so um, so powerful and so magical. I'm always in awe with your journeys and what you have overcome and all that. It's awesome. And today I want to give a big shout out on this episode to a special family member here, Tess, your daughter. Happy graduation day. Okay. I know you're out there with your little girl. Send her all our loves on her beautiful day. It's my son just graduated and it's a very emotional experience. It's beautiful. And we just want to give all my love to you, Tess. Good job, sweetheart. You are like a cool mom, just badass. And you for sure raised a beautiful young girl. You should trust it, you should love it, enjoy your day. You deserve it, every second of it. So yeah, we want to definitely give that shout out to our beautiful Tess. So with this, I just wanted to wrap this up and tell you guys to remember this. Remember this seeds. I'm gonna be this episode is gonna stay here on my Instagram, so it should be, you have it. And also I'm gonna be downloading it and put it in my website as one episode more. Okay. And thank you so much for being here. I love every part of our journey. I love that we're doing this. I'm so happy that we're regaining a lot of ourselves in the journey of podcasting. Don't forget to please support our show, support us, and we will be doubling down on all the cool stuff that have been working. Don't forget to celebrate your alone time. Don't forget to make the time. Don't forget to plan it. And don't forget to be curious in the journey. Be strong. Be powerful. Stay tuned.